Hey, what's up? It's Last Minute Sports Betting with us, the Sports Nuts. Brought to you by OddsJam, the premier odds comparison company. Live from the Lou, St. Louis, and from Illinois, Bob and Mike here for your sports betting needs. Don't forget, folks, there's a link below for the OddsJam Player Prop mobile app. Get it. It is fantastic. The Discord link is below, too. Check it out. Go check it out now. Click the links below for the best sports books in your state. And the OddsJam Partner Program. Share that link with your friends. Get 20% of all revenue generated from that link. Live chat available. Like this video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Fill out the form below in the description. Get a personal one-on-one tutorial on how to make $2,500 a month sports betting, or you get a hold of Mike at OddsJam.com or Bob at OddsJam.com. And Mike and I are here. There's a lot of things happening, none of them in the sports world of any. Well, I mean, there's things happening. It's just there's really nothing right now to bet on at this moment, because we pretty well have one game in the WNBA tonight, and that's the Chicago Sky and the Seattle Storm. Is that right? Is that WNBA or is that? I'm so confused with what's going on out there.
That game's already over. There's nothing happening right now.
That was at 11 o'clock a.m., right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, yeah. There you go. Now, I did not look at the final score of that game. Did you, Mike? I'm going to go ahead and check that out.
78-74, Chicago won.
Okay. All right. So 78-74.
Mm-hmm.
Lost that bet. Oh, that's too bad. Lost them both. I had the Storm plus 3.5. I lost by the hook, Mike. Can you believe that? That's what I get. Mac Jones, find me some sports to bet on. This is one of the worst times of the year, boys. That is absolutely true. But we always have something to bet on. We could still talk about CFL.
Well, we got baseball coming back up tomorrow.
Right.
So we'll be getting back into the swing there. We'll have baseball coming back. So we'll definitely be hammering away tomorrow. Now, tomorrow, there's not a ton going on baseball-wise. You know, the Yankees and Astros have a doubleheader, which that will be interesting to be paying attention to. Two powerhouses in the AL going at it, doubleheader there. And then aside from that, there's two doubleheaders, Bob. The A's and the Tigers also have a doubleheader. So essentially, there's only four. I mean, there's more than 4 games, but it's a doubleheader between, two different teams have 2 doubleheaders. So it's going to be interesting tomorrow.
Yeah. And I actually haven't looked at probably what we're going to do here, guys, is we're going to look at a couple of things in baseball in regards to MVP, some futures like we did today, because there's nothing on the positive EV page right now as we speak, okay? But we will come back for early betting for tomorrow, because I believe there is going to be some plays, and I'm getting ready to look right now, that are for tomorrow, but really not a whole lot. There's not a whole lot out there yet. So you know what? We may hold off on that too, Mike, and just get back into the groove of things tomorrow into a regular schedule. All right.
Well, I say we could take a look at some MVP bets and see what we got out there on lines. Sure. There's no doubt that I think we need to pull up the lines, because I've got a guy in mind that I think I could go with for the National League MVP, and I'm interested to see the value on him.
That's what I just said. That's where I'm heading. We're going to go there, but I was looking to see if we're probably not going to do the early betting show later on. Counting down the seconds till Thursday, Steven Rivera, as is the whole gambling world. Yes.
Yeah, we're ready. And again, not a ton of baseball tomorrow, but enough to get us by, because Friday, we'll have a jam-packed schedule. So it looks like we'll be just in time. Tomorrow will give us enough to get our fix in. And hey, this is your quick fix for sports betting right here with last minute betting. So
that's right.
We'll get our fix on tomorrow as well, and take it into the weekend and get back on track here.
It will be a full day on YouTube tomorrow. Okay, Mike, here's my suggestion here. Why don't you go ahead and share your screen, pull up these futures, and let's take a look at what's happening there.
Yeah. So, Bob, I'm going to go ahead and do that now. I'll share my screen, and I'll hurry up and jump over here.
Okay. What are you going to go with first?
What am I going to go with first?
Go ahead.
Okay, let me finish, Bob. I'm going to go with the National League MVP. I'm going to see what kind of value we got here on the National League MVP, and we'll kind of go from there. Boy, I'll tell you what, right now, and I know it's not a lot of crazy value on Goldie, but Goldschmidt has to be the front runner to win this MVP race right now. I mean, when you look at the year this guy is having, unbelievable, and the fact that the Cardinals are likely, I think it's safe to say they should be a playoff team. I think there's no doubt they should be a playoff team, so that's going to help his case. There is only one book giving you minus 105 on it, and everywhere else is giving you plus money, but plus 115 on Goldie right now. We jump down. I mean, Alonso does have some value on him as well. I'm just not sure that his year is going to be able to, unless he has an unbelievable second half. It's going to be tough for him to overtake Goldschmidt.
What about Austin Riley, Mike?
Yeah, you've got a little bit of, but you got three books giving you that plus 1,200, and the other three are giving you plus 1,000, which isn't bad. I mean, you certainly plus 1,200 compared to plus 1,000 is pretty good. You can snag that on BetMGM right there, Caesars or FanDuel. But I think Mookie Betts certainly looks like he has some value. I would jump to Mookie before I probably jump to Austin Riley. The worry there, though, with Mookie is you've got right below him a teammate, Freddie Freeman, who's in the mix. But I think Mookie Betts would be a pretty valuable bet there for NL MVP. So if I were to have to pick, I think I would. I know it's not great value on Goldie, but it is a little bit. And then I would have to look at Mookie after that, because obviously Machado, you're just getting plus 550 all across the board. And to be honest with you, I'm not sure that I'm going to buy into Machado as much as I would Goldie or Mookie. So I think we got some value there on Mookie and Goldie. We go down here. I mean, certainly Schwarber is there for value, but I mean, come on, NL MVP. That's tough when you got a guy like Goldschmidt and Mookie Betts, who are very good two-way players.
Right. What about the Arenado?
No, I'm not. You've got Goldie on that team. Arenado is going to get overlooked by him. He would have to really have just an unbelievable second half, and Goldie would have to really, in my opinion, not fall off completely, but he'd have to struggle a little bit. And I don't see that happening.
Right. And there's a reason, Mike, that Goldie is the front runner. He's got a shot at being in the conversation for a Triple Crown. Okay. He's leading the league in hitting. He's up there in RBIs, and he's up there in home runs. He's got a shot, man. Got a shot.
Yeah, no two ways about it. I think it's obvious Goldschmidt is the front runner because of the type of year he's having. Now we jump into the American League MVP. We'll see what we got going on. Obviously, Ohtani and Judge kind of stand out to you, but let's face it, Bob, the Angels, I don't think I can go with Ohtani. I think Aaron Judge has the potential, and the other guy is right there below him in Alvarez. I think Alvarez surely shows that he's got some look at the value on Alvarez as opposed to Judge and Ohtani. I mean, crazy, right? Now, that being said, he's got his work cut out for him to overtake those two. But, it definitely looks like there's some value on Alvarez. Aaron Judge, I would certainly not shy away from laying a plus 160 on him on Bet Rivers.
Is Ohtani a slam dunk, Mike?
I don't think so. I mean, you look at the kind of year the Yankees are having, that's got to count. Now, the problem is Ohtani, you're going to take into account that he's just an all around. I mean, he's a pitcher. He's a great hitter. I mean, the guy is just unbelievable. But you're on a really bad team. The Angels are not a good team. The Angels just fired their manager this season because they were playing so bad, and things haven't been looking any brighter. So I think Aaron Judge, when you look at the kind of season the Yankees are having, they're just unbelievable right now. And Aaron Judge is a big part of that.
Oh, yeah.
And a really strong second half for Judge. And depending on what happens with the Yankees in the standings could certainly help his value as well. So looking here, I think I like Aaron Judge or Alvarez. Alvarez is probably a little bit of a long shot, but if you're looking for value, Alvarez certainly does have a little bit of value, but I think I would go towards Judge.
Here's the problem I have with Ohtani. Although he's a great generational talent.
Oh, no two ways about it.
His team is 14 games under 500.
Right.
With a run differential, let me finish, of minus 30. The Yankees are let's just take a look at this, guys. 36 games over 500 with a run differential of 199, and Aaron Judge had a lot to do with that 199 run difference. I'm sorry. In my book, I'm going Aaron Judge, and you know what? I think I'm going to grab it right now. I think that is an excellent play on Judge. It's just my opinion.
Yeah, plus 160. It's hard to really go away from that. And it does look like, as you see here, several other books don't quite have as good as that plus 160. So I certainly love the value there. And looking down, we talked about Ohtani. You got a guy like Mike Trout. I mean, you've got Mike Trout and Ohtani on the same team, and yet you're still 14 games below 500. So
crazy. That's
got to count for something. I mean, Aaron Judge doesn't have anybody on his team on right here that we're looking at, right?
Yeah. Right.
I mean, yeah, you go down to Stanton way down here. Giancarlo Stanton is certainly having a heck of a year. But look, nowhere near what Judge has done.
I got to jump into another one, Mike. What about Julio Rodriguez?
That's it.
The turnaround that the Mariners have made. He's a big part of that. Dude, he's plus 15,000.
Yes, that's definitely great value on a guy that looks like he could have a really good second half, and obviously he's kind of the center of attention right now with that great home run derby. But if I'm going to look at Julio Rodriguez, I got to look at a guy like Byron Buxton, because Byron Buxton is a very, very good player, and Minnesota is winning their division. That let's face it, coming into the season, that wasn't a guarantee, and you can't say Minnesota was the likely team to win that division. So a lot of people thought Chicago, the White Sox, would be there. Right. They had a great year last year. So Byron Buxton certainly has got to get some love there too. So yeah, I like Rodriguez for a long shot, and Buxton as well if I were to look at Rodriguez.
Absolutely.
But ultimately, I think I do like the value we got on Aaron Judge. I don't think you can go wrong. And let's face it, Bob, he's not going to probably slow down much.
I don't think so. And not when he's got a guy like Stanton around him. All right, let's we're going to remove your screen for a second. I want to get to a couple things. All right. First off, let's talk about Matt Carpenter in New York. Mike, you're not going to believe this.
Yes.
Did you know Matt Carpenter has the most home runs in Yankees history in his first 30 games with the team, with 13? Did you just hear what I said? In Yankees history. Now, you ready for this next one? Him and three other players have 2+7 RBI seasons or games in a season. You know who these other guys are? You ready?
I'm ready.
Joe DiMaggio, Lou Gehrig, and Babe Ruth.
Yeah, I figured you were going to go very old school on me.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, basically the names you named. If you got a card laying around with those names on it, you're probably rich, right?
And Matt Carpenter. Now, here's the question I got.
Well, maybe not Carpenter, but yes.
When he shaved his beard off, that was the difference, wasn't it?
No, the short right field porch in New York, and the fact that it's a home run ballpark. I mean, got lots of guys go there and that have somewhat fallen off and have success. I mean, those some of those. I saw one the other night that would have been an out in St. Louis. Right. I mean, it would have been an out. It may have gotten to the warning track potentially, but maybe not even quite because it barely cleared in that short right field. And in a bigger stadium, a pitcher-friendly ballpark like St. Louis, those balls aren't going out there.
Right. Plus, the air's heavier in St. Louis. Ball doesn't carry as much, doesn't travel as much. You're absolutely right.
No, that takes nothing away from what Carpenter's doing. I'm very happy for him, and I think it's all because let's face it, Carpenter is a great guy. He's a great person, and he deserves to have some fun and play baseball and have success. I'm happy for him, but. You can't say, man, the Cardinals made a mistake there. I mean, come on, he's not going to be hitting all them home runs in Busch Stadium.
You know who the team that made the mistake was, don't you? The Texas Rangers.
Yeah, the Texas Rangers. Yeah, that's the mistake.
Yes. In the minors. Yeah. All right, let me get to a couple things. Christian Estrada, feel like the NL is a tougher group of guys to pick than the AL. Possibly, but
I think so.
I think, Goldschmidt is hands down ahead of the rest of the pack. And then Real Deal Prime, sup studs, hosts, and chat and crew. So we are here trying to find some value. Now, we're not trying just to do a St. Louis angle, all right? But the big news in the NHL today is Matthew Tkachuk is not going to sign long-term with the Calgary Flames and wants to be traded, and he's named – 5 teams, of which the Blues, the Rangers.
No, Rangers weren't one of the teams he named. The teams he named was the Florida Panthers, the Vegas Golden Knights, the Blues. I think he also named Dallas. No, he didn't name the Devils either. The teams he named and Nashville, Dallas, the Blues, the Panthers, and the Golden Knights are 5 teams he named he would like to go to. The Rangers and Devils are teams that have shown interest.
Okay.
Obviously, there is still a shot. His uncle is in New Jersey there with that organization, so there is some ties there. But ultimately, I think the teams that he named are teams that he knows he's got a shot at winning with and making a difference on. The Devils certainly have some upside, some young talent, and so do the Rangers. But I don't think New York's his type of place. I don't think he wants to go to New York. I think he wants to go, he named 3 teams in the Midwest, Nashville, Dallas, and St. Louis. So it's pretty obvious that those teams would be pretty
good. There you go. Real Deal Prime's got it. Good job.
Yeah, 100% with the COVID restrictions. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
About trade landing spots. Okay. I'm just getting ready to get into the Soto thing. Where does Juan Soto go? Here's the key. The Washington Nationals want major league ready ball players. What teams out there have major league ready ball players that can get him and be a contender and still sign him long term?
Yeah. There's certainly some, there's some teams you could look at. I don't think the reason I'm putting the Yankees and Mets out of this equation is because do they really have the major league ready players that they're wanting? They've got prospects. They've got guys that have prospects, and so do some of these other teams. It sounds like they want major league ready players. I got to be honest. 2 teams that come to mind to me are the Seattle Mariners and the St. Louis Cardinals. I think that those 2 teams are both have put themselves in the mix now, especially Seattle. They're right in this mix. So I think that you've got to look at a couple of teams like that. And then the other question is, will they throw Patrick Corbin in this trade?
Right. Real Deal Prime says Soto to the Mets, he hears, is the front runner. Is whoever gets Soto the World Series favorite. Let me tell you something. If the Yankees get Soto, we're in deep, deep trouble. Remember, they could throw Matt Carpenter into this deal, who's off to a heck of a start with the Yankees. But
yeah, I don't think that they don't want to go. When they mean major league ready players, they don't mean just any old regular guy. I mean, no offense to Matt Carpenter, they're not going to trade Juan Soto for Matt Carpenter.
Not straight up.
I know you're saying package, but they want young ready prospects. There are teams that would have that somewhat available. But again, it's
all right.
It's really hard to say right off the hand who I think's the favorite. Right. But I'm going to tell you, and this isn't a homer approach either. If I think I'm looking at the Cardinals, because you heard all the chirps of Arenado being unhappy. He's made comments to the public about he don't want to be a wild card team. He wants to win a division, have a shot at a World Series. Well, a trade like this could do it, and you don't want to risk losing Arenado. You go trade for Soto. Remember how happy he was, Juan Soto, sitting there with Albert Pujols? You don't think Juan Soto would like to go under Albert's wing for the remainder of the second half of the season and then go compete for a World Series? Again, this is it's. I don't want to say it's a long shot, because the Cardinals' name have been thrown around heavily.
All right, so here, Mac Jones. I don't understand why he thinks he's worth so much. He's a kid. And unfortunately, he's multi-generational talent. He is a multi-generational talent.
Yeah,
guys like him don't come along very often. His hitting stroke, the whole 9 yards. Christian Estrada, he's a Dodger fan, but he doesn't want to give up the players. But the only reason he wants the Dodgers to have him is so another team can't. Here's the question. Whoever signs him or whoever trades for him, are they going to be able to sign him? That's the key.
That's the key. That's the key. That is very much a key in this. And I'll tell you a team that we didn't mention that I think we may throw out there. How about, we're talking about the Yankees? How about the Boston Red Sox?
Okay. Yeah, I see that. Yeah.
They're not only a team that's contending right now, but they've got several guys they can move if need be. Right. So Boston, St. Louis, and Seattle, for me personally, are three teams I got to look at. I don't want to go for the Mets, Dodgers, Yankees, the big dogs, because I don't know that I don't think Washington wants to just set up a team like that with basically a gift, know. I mean, you're essentially, if you trade him to one of those teams, you just gave them essentially the World Series, especially a team like that. Now, Boston, that evened things out a little bit. That gave the Yankees some competition if he goes to Boston.
Right. Okay. So I want to share my screen here real quick, and I'm going to tell you what we're going to talk about here very quickly. It won't take long at all. We're going to go into this CFL. I've got all 4 games in here, or 5 games. I have 4 games. I'm sorry. I've already taken the Montreal Alouettes on the money line. That line is now minus 140, Mike. I got it at minus 120 on BetMGM. Okay. That is tomorrow night. Also, I'm with Randall with his Blue Bombers pick. The Blue Bombers minus 7, minus 110 on BetMGM. The Tiger Cats plus 8 against the BC Lions, minus 108 on Barstool. And then the Argonauts, the Argos, plus 6, minus 110 on DraftKings against the Saskatchewan Roughriders, okay? That is, that's been the only thing to bet here recently. I like betting the CFL. For those of you uncomfortable with it, trust me, it's a pretty good sport to bet. And remember, it's a 3-down sport too. One thing I did want to show you all is that when you get into the filters of the bet tracker, you can go by pending or won or lost or refunded or half won. That changes It's a great thing. You can sort things out. I love it. It's fantastic. The other thing, and once again, remember, we got nothing going on here right now. So if I go to what's happening today, you see how you can change the date range. We have no positive EV bets at this particular point in time. You could set your market width to a minimum, and whatever your maximum, I would not ever go over 40 for player props. And if you're looking for regular game lines, you probably ought to stick, somewhere around 25. Okay. But these are the things that we have added, and we got more things coming your way. And don't forget the bet tracker also. Mike, it keeps track of your profit, your return on investment. I'm at $2,600 profit right now at 9% ROI. I want you to look at something, Mike. Week 29, that was last week. That's my best week ever. During baseball season, I had my best week ever. I just want to point that out.
Nice. Cool, Bobby.
And
Christian says Red Sox have all the old Dodgers players we gave up for Mookie. Yes, they do. Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
That is absolutely true. You are absolutely right. All right, look. Going to be back tomorrow morning. Mike's going to be back tomorrow after he's going to be back to his Positive EV show. I'm going to be back to my Positive EV show. We got a lot of things happening out here. More things coming your way with OddsJam. I'm telling you, man, there are things happening. You just got to be patient, all right? Be patient, all right? We'll see you tomorrow morning. Peace.